Wherever you are, we have a pretty global presence on the call today. My name's Fred Ledbetter. I'm an advisor to World Wi-Fi. I'd like to talk for a few minutes today about the system. I'm hoping that all of you have had a chance to look at our website, worldwifi.io, look at the white paper, be able to download it so that you have some background, but I'll talk you through that anyway. So World Wi-Fi, our objective is to build a free, global, decentralized Wi-Fi system. The way that, or the need for this is obvious. When you walk down the street and you're looking for Wi-Fi as just a normal traveler, all of the Wi-Fi hotspots are always blocked. Across the world, the need for free Wi-Fi is very apparent. 10% of the world's population lives on minimal subsistence. If they do sometimes have cell phones, and if they want to access the internet, they need free access. The way that this works is it's exactly according to collaborative consumption. We're very similar in our business model to Uber and Airbnb and Volvo. Everyone knows Uber. Uber itself doesn't own any cars. Airbnb doesn't own the hotel or the rooms, the flats. Volvo basically leases out a car completely, service everything, and then renews every 2 years. So it's Volvo's car, and you're paying for the use of it. That's very much the same with us. Our network will be home router owners, guest users, and then advertisers. And how it specifically works is a home router owner will download an application, create a second access point in their home router. That'll be for the guest user. The guest user will see that as they're on the street or in a cafe or in a public space. They will see that there's a free Wi-Fi hotspot available. They'll click on that. They'll log on according to very normal things, Facebook, VKontakte, their email ID. That'll be sent back to our advertising company, where it will be mixed and matched with other data that exists for that guest user, and then matched to ad campaigns that different advertisers have put up on the advertising company. And a 10 to 15-second video will be sent back. The guest user will watch that video, and then they'll get internet access. When they've watched that video, a message is sent back via blockchain to the advertiser that gives a definite, concrete, and clear report on the usage. So the advertiser knows it's been seen. They're not just guessing. They have a dashboard. They will then verify that, and they will send a token payment to the home router owner. The home router owner manages this guest Wi-Fi hotspot. They can create session lengths. They can decide exactly what they want to do in terms of managing that. On the other hand, the guest user cannot see the Wi-Fi owner's router or get into their system at all, and the router owner can only manage the guest user's session. They cannot get into the guest user's computer or session. There's a high level of security between that. Going a step further, the market has grown tremendously in Wi-Fi hotspots. We expect there to be 328 million around the world public Wi-Fi hotspots by the end of this year, and it's very much an accepted way to access the internet, high bandwidth access to the internet. The way that this is monetized is, again, through advertising. There are roughly $547 billion in the global advertising market, 229 billion in internet advertising. And Cisco says that 53% of that goes through Wi-Fi, and so 53% of all the global internet advertising right now goes through Wi-Fi. So it's a perfect medium for us. World Wi-Fi is not your typical startup. It's based on two companies. One is Radius Wi-Fi, which installs Wi-Fi hotspots for users, home users, cafes, restaurants, small shops. And the other is Adrenta, which is an ad exchange company. Both of these have been in business. They have good business models, and they're positive right now. What we're doing new and different with World Wi-Fi is using blockchain to enable this to be a global system and to be able to communicate between the advertiser and the home router owner on a P2P basis. We also have a referral program because we'd like our members, our community, to help expand the community for us. So similar to a multi-level marketing program, if you get an initial invite, you can pass that on to your colleagues, friends, business associates, or whoever has a router hotspot. They can also install World Wi-Fi, and at that point, they will be up and running, and you will get a small part of their advertising revenue as well. We also have created a patented antenna on a physical basis to help extend the range of these Wi-Fi hotspots. And depending upon how much you might invest, we have packages of those antennas that we would send you as part of your investment. We have basically a deployment schedule for the Wi-Fi network, for the global Wi-Fi network, that depends on our ICO and how much we raise. Right now, we're at approximately 23 million. Our hard cap is 25 million. The ICO ends at the end of this week. We think we have a very good chance of hitting the hard cap. If you're interested, it's very important that you act soon. The different stages basically are geographical deployment and distribution. And so right now, as we look at the stages based on investment, we're in stage 7, and we have a really good global map of where we can go. Our use of funds, of course, will be highly focused on marketing because we want to deploy the network. We have other ways of doing that: partnerships with ISPs, partnerships with mobile companies, partnerships with router companies. So there's many ways for us to do that. Our team is made up of very experienced international professionals. We have our CEO is Ilya Yashin. He is the founder of Radius Wi-Fi and Adrenta. Our co-founder is Jan Sepiashvili. He has been involved in this sphere and in advertising for the last 10 years. Both very bright guys. Our executive management team is a global team. We have big data people, we have security people, but you can see that really on our website. You can look at the individuals involved. Our advisors are also global. They span Southeast Asia, North America, Europe, Japan, pretty much everywhere. So World Wi-Fi really can only be built with the help of the community. we're trying to get the biggest community that we can, because that's how we'll do it, by having everyone involved, everyone pressing outwards. Um, I have a couple of pieces of hot news to wrap this up. Right now, our current price of tokens is 13.4 cents. So that's gone up a little as the ICO has progressed. The bonuses are decreasing this week. They're at 4% right now. They'll go down to 0 by the end of the ICO, or actually, when we hit our hard cap, of course, everything will stop. And really big news for us is Vladislav Martinov, who is an advisor to the Ethereum Foundation. He's co-founder of Yoda Devices, and he's founder of Blockbeats, has joined us as a co-founder of our company. He thought the idea was so good that he wants to be involved in really the ownership and the direction. So we're very pleased about that. With that, I'd like to open it up to questions. I have a Telegram channel open here, and any questions you might send in, I'll get them and can respond to them directly. Okay, so the first question I have, how is it possible for small contributors to have free internet? If you are a small contributor, there's two ways to do it. One, if you contribute $15,000 or more, you get a root invite. The root invite allows you to also invite others, and you can become a small network manager and network owner and make money based on referrals. This money will, or these referrals will be a bigger and bigger network, and you can make money. You can, our average, just for one hotspot in our paper, you'll see in our white paper, is $11 a month. Around the world, internet access, the connectivity ranges from $300 to $300, with a global average of $30. So if you have your own hotspot and you're generating $11 a month, that's offsetting the cost of your connectivity. And if you have others helping you as well, that you've been able to bring into the network, they will be contributing for you as well. Sorry, the font type is very small on my phone. When do we expect to start trading our coin? The specific answer, you should check with our website and check with our the ICO managers, but it's my understanding that it will be within 3 to 4 weeks after the end of the ICO. One question, why is Wi-Fi not free? It's always because of two things. If you're a home router owner, you block your Wi-Fi from anyone else, and that's because you're paying for it. You don't want anyone else on your router. You don't want them doing torrents or spam, so you put a password on it. So it's no longer free. To be free, it needs to be opened up, and there has to be some way uh, somewhere for someone to make money on that. It can't be free because it isn't free. The companies providing the connectivity to the internet always charge. Uh, how much will it cost me every month? World Wi-Fi won't cost you every month. Once you're installed, your guest router will work normally, and hopefully you'll be making money every month, not paying. Um, will I be able to access free Wi-Fi if I didn't buy 1 Ethereum worth of Wii tokens? If so, how? Uh, yes, absolutely. Um, as I said, if you spend 15,000, which is much more than 1 Ethereum, you will get a root invite. But if you spend less, you will get a an invite to join. Regardless, you'll get a referral invite, and with a referral invite, you can set up the guest Wi-Fi hotspot, and it'll be just like normal. You will make slightly less money because you will not get 100% of your advertising revenue from the usage in the guest Wi-Fi hotspot, but you can definitely create a network without putting in 1 Ethereum worth. Um, the question is, in my opinion, what would be the most difficult challenge for World Wi-Fi to succeed? We're tremendously happy about the response from the community and the investment community and all of you with our ICO. We've been able to be very close to the hard cap of our ICO. So there's a lot of confidence. We have high profile investors, we have high profile advisors, and we have high profile owners. The biggest challenge from my perspective next is how we distribute on a global basis. There are um, many opportunities to do partnerships, and many places those would work. For example, in Bulgaria, there is a one ISP that already offers its customers a discount if they create a guest hotspot on the home router. We can help that ISP make more money and not give up that discount by installing World Wi-Fi. And so that truly is win-win. It's win for the router owner, it's win for the ISP who's the distributor, it's a win for the guest users, and it's a win for the advertisers. There are many other examples of how we distribute, but distribution is going to be our next challenge. We have a smaller challenge in porting our software onto the most popular makes of the routers themselves. But we're going to initiate that, in the next few weeks, as soon as the ICO ends, and we can finish. We can move on with the development of this. Okay. Okay. So if there's any other questions, I'd be happy to answer them. I don't see any more on my phone right now. Um, would anyone else like to ask? Uh, okay. Dennis, are we seeing anything else coming in? Um, okay. Here we go. Um, okay. What is the advantage of world Wi-Fi? Well, again, there are advantages for each participant in the process. The advantages for the home router owner, they can create a guest access point. They can make that available. It's very secure. When guests use it, the home router owner will make some money. Right now, most home router owners don't use all of the capacity. If they go to work, they might use it in the morning, they might use it at night during busy hours, but they don't use it during the day. So they have all this extra capacity that they can use, the guests can use, and they can get paid for it. Um, for the guest user, the advantage is clear. They get free internet access, free Wi-Fi internet access. The cost for them is to watch a 10 to 15 second video. The advertisers really have two things. One is they can target much more accurately based on our Adrenta and all of the data we can bring together that the advertisers can use to match to campaigns that they are running. Another clear advantage is we expect the advertisers will pay 40% less in world Wi-Fi for these ad views, to have these ads served and for them to be viewed by guest users. In the online advertising market, approximately 40% of the cost is taken by middlemen and agents, and this is peer to peer. So the advertiser is communicating directly with the home router owner. So it's very much of an advantage for them. The overall advantage is it's just an excellent use of Wi-Fi resources around the world in this shared economy. All of these hotspots exist, or they will exist. When I was working for a company called Golden Telecom, we created a Wi-Fi network in Moscow. It was 14,000 access points. At the time, it was the biggest in the world, but the capex was tremendously large. It cost for all of the routers, it cost for connectivity. And so as a company, we just had to go ahead and pay that. It was a good decision to do at the time, but now we have a better, more effective way of doing it, and that's with this global shared economy. Okay. What about the business aspect of world Wi-Fi, cafes, restaurants, hotels, and airports? The answer is yes, although we're primarily focused on the home residential market, we are also very much focused on public open spaces. That's one of the reasons we developed this patented antenna to expand the reach. So if you're next to a park or a children's playground, you can shoot your Wi-Fi signal there, and mothers who are watching their children can use Wi-Fi while they're out with the kids. But the same thing with cafes. We intend to target cafes. We intend to target small businesses. We intend to target open spaces. How secure will it be? Can anyone steal my data? As a user, it is very secure. It's you've read in the past about Wi-Fi hotspots and how you can hack between users on an open network. We are putting in safeguards, so if you have some more than one guest user at a time, that they can't get into each other's session. We also have a wall between the home router owner and the guest user. So the guest user cannot get into the network of the home router owner. They cannot get into the computer or the servers. And the home router owner can only manage the guest network, the guest network session. They cannot get into the data or get onto the computer. How many antennas I can get? Our offer on antennas is on our website. You'll be able to find that as you go down and look. Right now, during the ICO, it depends on the investment and then we will be distributing them based on how we do with, say, a deal. If we work with a ISP, for example, it would be natural for us to try to get them a large number of antennas because the antennas extend the world Wi-Fi system. But if you invest a certain amount right now, then you will get a package of antennas, and the detail is exactly on our website. So that I don't misquote it, I'll let you look there. How can I be useful to the project and what I need to help you spread the project? You can be useful. First, investing, of course, is a great way to be useful. Um, but even on a small basis, even if you're a very small investor, um, what we are looking for is people to help us do distribution. So once you have your guest user set up on your own router, then you would try to figure out how to grow your small network. So your colleagues, your friends, or your big network. Perhaps you have some outstanding business contacts, or cafes, or different businesses. To the extent that you can invite others and have them join World Wi-Fi, that will be very helpful for us. That is the biggest thing you can do to help us right now, because, as I said, our biggest challenge going forward will be distribution, growing the network quickly. What's your difference from Elon Musk? Thank you. That's a really excellent compliment. Um, Elon Musk, I suppose you mean internet access. And as far as I understand his project, it is a satellite based project. Um, the difference for us is we are at the very last 300 feet. And if you're in the business, what that really means is some kind of provider brings the internet either to your doorstep. You buy connectivity, and you buy it either fixed line through an ISP or in many different ways. Elon Musk will be distributing internet to devices at the physical level. Um, we will be able to connect, or you will be able to connect your router to those devices at some point, and then distribute Wi-Fi. And then you would be able to share your Wi-Fi using World Wi-Fi. But we look at Elon Musk as being a channel and a different way to get internet access itself, to get the channel to the network, to the internet from your home router owner. What if someone spreads explicit content in my world Wi-Fi network? Will I be arrested? We are doing two things at least to manage this. First of all, with the advertisers, we will be reviewing and filtering all of the advertisements that go out. So you will not, for example, ever be showing pornography or exploitation or many of the other content that is strictly prohibited in many places around the world. Uh, so that's number one. Number two, the home router owner will be able to manage the session for the guest. So they'll be able to manage torrents so the guest does not download too much, is not using too much of the internet. The router owner will be able to manage the speed of the Wi-Fi connection, and generally overall all of the sessions so that it complies with a good internet user and complies with the terms of the home router owner's agreement with their ISP or their internet provider. If we have such an advertising model, then why do we need Google targeting? Um, that's a good question as well. What we've found with Adrenta, as we serve Wi-Fi ads, um, there are two very important factors. One is it has to be context-based, context-based, and geography-based. And these are specific for that and specific for certain ad campaigns. So the advertisers that come to Adrenta create campaigns that are based on certain characteristics, and then those are served through Wi-Fi. It's especially targeting Wi-Fi. Yes, you can of course use Google targeting for your advertising, but guest users, when they come on your system, that ad will go back to, or that user's information will go back to Adrenta, and something very specific will go back to that user at that Wi-Fi hotspot at that moment in time. So we think it's all very immediate and it's all very educated and really down to the level of understanding of the guest user and their consumer patterns. You will be bigger and better than Google. Well, we would love to think so. We would love to compete with Google, but Google has so many different businesses. One of the biggest businesses in the world. So no, we won't be bigger than Google, but we will serve up targeted advertising at least as well to our Wi-Fi guest users. Okay, any other questions? Okay, I want to thank Kate for helping set this up today. You can, of course, go through her, but you should come to our website. You should look at the white paper, and we would very much encourage you to join our community. It's going to be a big, magnificent adventure as we create this global system. We're very much looking forward to it. But once again, we can only do it with the community and with your help. So thank you very much for taking the time this morning. And please join our community. Thank you.